Welcome to the Mediocre to Magnificent podcast. I'm your co-host, Braxton Matson, and your host, Lee A. Williams, and I just want to say thank you for tuning in because you are what makes this pure magnificence. You are the ripple effect of magnificence, and we are going to bring you a message that will give you insight, inspire you, motivate you, and challenge you to not only grow in your magnificence, but let you know that you are magnificent in everything you do. So stay tuned, you don't want to miss it. Lee, man,
Yes, sir.
we're here again.
We're here, man.
Another magnificent episode.
Of course.
So
Why you laugh? Why you laugh?
I looked up. The last episode we talked about like the water and the liquid death.
Yeah.
So I wanted to really figure out how do you come up with a name like that?
Yeah.
And it's so ironic. It's crazy how this happened, but so the CEO was at almost like a concert or whatever,
Yeah.
and so they had the energy drinks like Monster
Yeah.
repping the concert.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker. The people that were performing, they were repping Monster, but they were putting water in the can to stay hydrated.
Yeah.
Right?
So just posing.
And I was like, that makes sense. That makes sense. Because,
Yeah.
there's no way you're going to perform and just drink an energy drink the whole time.
Yeah.
That's what sparked the idea. But the crazy thing about this is it started with just water, but it was the marketing behind it.
Yeah.
Like the craziest name, craziest oddball thing outside.
Yeah.
That's what kicked off that whole. And they're actually making a lot of the people that he went to promote this, to put it in stores and all that.
Yeah.
They were like, no, people will think this is an alcoholic beverage.
Right.
So he did a mock trial on social media.
Yeah.
Without even having the product. He just did like a commercial thing, whatever. And it flew off.
Yeah.
And that's
what
it's
happened.
just crazy how marketing, that's what happened.
Yeah, man.
I think he said something about y'all come up with this craziest idea. That you think won't work.
Yeah.
And
I
they're
think
still
that-
growing, man.
I think that shows how.
I mean, that is crazy.
how out of touch people are, man.
I mean,
I think so.
Yeah.
But
It really is a marketing, because that's what he was, he dealt with marketing.
yeah. Yeah.
So he come up with the oddball thing against the grain.
Yeah. People want to be a part of it.
Yeah. And it kind of brings us into this episode in a way.
Oh,
In a
really?
way.
Well, hold on. I want to say something, man.
Yeah.
We, maybe I, but for this, we never even acknowledged, man,
What?
4 years.
Oh man,
We're late, man.
we're way late.
I mean,
How many episodes later are we on this? I'd have to look
past it.
back. 4 years, man.
the May
That's like
23rd.
going to high school.
May 23rd. May
23rd,
4th.
man.
We're like, I don't know. This is June now. I mean,
And when it's I'm glad you brought, because that's every week we've put out something.
right.
That is a tough thing to do. A really tough thing to do when you've got other things going on outside of the.
Yeah. The commitment, man.
Right, man.
Diligence, man. So I appreciate you, man. 4 years, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Staying after it.
Yeah.
So I just want, because I couldn't let another episode
I know,
go by.
man. Like I know when we did, what was it, 200th episode? We didn't celebrate that 200th episode.
Yeah, well, I think we just it's become a part of it. So we're
it's
just
almost
banging
like
them out, and it's like we can't not acknowledge.
Yeah, you can't ignore. 4 years, man. 4.
Acknowledge, man, the milestones, man.
Yeah.
So we're
Thank
here,
you, man.
That's good.
But yeah, I mean that too brings up this subject that we got for today, and give you a story about it. Like this just happened recently, and I got to thinking. I was like, you know what, that makes sense. Like that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So have you ever heard the term curiosity kills the cat?
Yeah, I've heard it.
And so
you researched it?
It's actually interesting. It's very interesting because that's not the real saying.
Oh, really?
It's not.
What's the saying, man?
Well, we'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
We'll get to it.
We'll
But
get to that.
so like I was at work and
listening.
we had a one of our vendors come in who does a lot of stuff for us with the product that we got. And we were at lunch and we were talking about, just changes in the workforce and just, new things, new ideas, how to get things more streamlined, that kind of stuff. And a saying was brought up, curiosity kills the cat. And it's like, it's like, no, you've got to have curiosity.
You gotta have curiosity.
And I was sitting there like, you know what? Because we have a cat.
Yeah, y'all got a cat.
And we have a dog.
And a dog.
And I'll be honest with you. The cat is curious.
Yeah.
But he's also smart.
Yeah.
Like they know a certain situation where they're like, okay, I need to watch this.
Yeah.
And then react if I have to react. Like they're smart. They're smart.
Yeah.
The curiosity side, though, to me was for our own lives, you've got to have curiosity in things. Because, I mean, think about it. If you weren't curious in anything, what would you be doing?
What is if you weren't curious?
If you were not curious at anything, like you didn't want to,
no interest.
No interest in anything, what would your life be like?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Mediocre. If you want,
that's a good one.
If you want to
mediocre is a good one.
Stay in the lane, huh?
Like you've got to have curiosity in your life.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's what people thrive on, especially guys. I feel like, after reading Wild at Heart, like,
oh yeah,
you got to have the curiosity. Like you got to have that. Mm-hmm. And it's like a growth process. And for me, it's like in my faith, having the curiosity to do something that he may be wanting me to do.
Yeah.
That is huge. But you got to have the curiosity.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm the guy that asks like a bunch of questions.
You're the guy. You're that
I'm
guy.
The cautious. Like I want to know.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to like just go ahead and do things and get the feedback. And it may be, it may fail. It may not work right, but you got feedback on it.
Get the feedback. Man.
Curiosity. Like how would you... Has there been a point in your life where you weren't as curious? Because I feel like a curiosity a lot, from an entrepreneurship standpoint, you've got to be curious.
Yeah.
Like that's part of the...
It's part of it. Man.
You've got to have...
Got to be out there, man. Figuring it out, finding a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, that probably answers it right off the bat. Pre-entrepreneurship, like pre-business.
Yeah.
Like if you, work in a position, not to say that you don't need curiosity in that form, But certain tasks, certain things are, if depending on what industry you're in, is like, hey, this is what you do.
Yeah, it's kind of a given.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would answer.
Yeah.
How I'd answer that.
Right. Yeah. But like the way the curiosity was brought up in the conversation, it was more about the willingness to fail, or the willingness to try
And get the feedback.
get the feedback, whether it was good or bad,
Yeah.
and learning from it. So like that's what kind of spurred the curiosity. Like, what does the term "curiosity killed the cat" really mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And so to come back to that, the real saying wasn't "curiosity kills the cat"; it's "care kills the cat."
Care kills.
Care kills the cat.
How to get that? How did he mix that up?
Don't know. I mean, actually, it's a proverb, but it really started as "care killed the cat," and the way care is termed from a definition standpoint at that time was worry kills the cat.
That makes sense.
So that makes a lot more sense than curiosity.
Yeah.
Because how do you not have curiosity?
Yeah. So you think they're dumbing us down?
I don't know. I wish they had more detail. I wish they had more detail on when it changed, because this was back in like the 1800s.
Yeah.
When it changed, when that term was brought up,
Right.
and it was like, it probably was. There are things that happened where it was kind of like they didn't want curiosity.
Yeah. You don't need to look into that. Just do what you're told.
You just need to do X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
Don't be curious. You don't need to ask questions.
Yeah.
You don't need to try to understand it. You just need to do it.
You don't need to know how. Do what I tell you.
And that could be part of it, man.
Wow.
Curiosity kills the cat. Worry. Now, worry kills the cat. That makes a whole lot more sense.
Yeah.
And I think the way one of the articles was like, you know how they say cats have 9 lives?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, worry will take them all out.
Worry will take them all out.
Worry takes them all out.
So what are you worrying about?
Yeah, no.
That's what we're asking the listeners. Like, what are you worrying about?
What are you worrying about?
What have you given to God?
Exactly.
What have you not given?
It's almost like the foundational part of your faith. It's that, having that foundation in knowing that you can look to him and he's like right there.
Right.
Don't matter if you're going through something, you're having issues, you're in a valley, on top of the mountain.
Top of the mountain.
Like he's there.
When do you think when you were the most curious in your life?
Most curious? Oh man.
Do you have like something that sticks out in life?
It had to be when you're a kid. I remember being a kid. I'm talking like maybe 5th grade, middle school.
Yeah.
And it was like we could just go outside. We do everything outside.
Yeah, yeah.
We just come up with stuff. And we were curious.
Yeah, yeah.
We come up with different, it'd be anything from G.I. Joe stuff to sports, all kinds of stuff, man.
Yeah.
Camping. And it's like you had to come up with stuff, especially with camping. Like if you wanted to camp out, like you wanted to make a tent, all kinds of stuff.
Making forward.
And then, everything affected it, like the weather, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So you had to think on your feet, and sports definitely was another one. You had to be,
yeah,
strategize. Yeah. Who's on your team? Who with the strengths? But I think that's another thing about curiosity is, we could be in a certain what do you call it, category, either like with our job or our career.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you're not willing to diversify and learn different and get involved in different things, Like you're kind of putting yourself on a one track thing where it's like curiosity is how can I use my traits, my skills that God has given me
Right.
for other things.
Yeah.
You know, it's like learning that. I mean, even with, you know, volunteer work, you know, like with church,
Yeah.
want to get more involved, like in kids, like, you know, a lot about that.
Yeah.
It's a building block for your faith in a way.
Yeah.
Because you're doing something outside the norm.
Outside the norm, man.
That's what the curiosity side is.
Curiosity. Make sure you're curious about something.
Always. You gotta be curious about something.
Yeah.
I just don't, yeah. But what about the worry side? Worry kills the cat.
You know, I heard it like worry is a rocking chair.
Yeah.
Doing a whole lot of movement.
Ain't going nowhere.
Ain't going nowhere. According to what you're saying, it's taking lives.
Mm-hmm.
Taking lives with the cat. 9 lives. Worrying, just knocking them off.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think? What do you think the ultimate worry is, man?
Man, I'd have to sit on that one.
I'll
The
tell you right
ultimate
now.
worry.
I'll tell you right now. You want me to tell you?
Yeah, tell me.
The ultimate worry. Not knowing where you're going to be in eternity.
True.
And you don't have to.
Right.
And you could be curious and find out how to take care of that.
Right.
Isn't that right?
That is so true.
Don't you think?
That is the ultimate. Yeah.
But you got to be curious. You got to crack the book.
Yes.
It's an open book test, man.
Open book test.
You going to fail open book test? Or you going to be curious enough to read it?
Mm-hmm.
Find out for yourself. To really actually know what God really, truly orchestrated. From the beginning. To see what he did for you. And you're not even curious.
Mm-hmm.
You're drinking liquid death. I mean, I'm just saying that to be funny. But that's why I said that the out of touch piece earlier. Like you got to be out of touch.
Yeah. I think that was key to me with the curiosity side. Is the willingness to be like you're scripturally aware with things.
Right.
And you're able to do things that are outside the box on your normal.
And I think, you know, so if you say curiosity kills a cat, they switched it. Worry actually did it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we tied into what I said, like the ultimate worry, concern, question,
Yeah.
whatever. You don't have to be. You don't have to be worried.
Mm-mm.
You don't have to be concerned. You can get your questions answered. He'll answer them. But you have to have the sense to be curious and find out. So there's a quote, said, man, when you see what the majority of people are doing, do the opposite. So this is like, not to say, okay, well, the majority of people are not being curious and not reading, studying, show themselves approved, reading the word, getting their questions answered.
Right.
Making sure they're taken care of for eternity. You were like, the majority's not doing it? If you look at the world population, the majority is not doing it.
Yeah.
If you watch these movies, these TV shows, these marketing, social media schemes, look. I mean, I'm being silly. Saying
you're
that
right, though. You're right.
is to say, hey, they only bash one, man. Have you realized that?
Mm-hmm.
The movies only portray one. Like, when are we gonna wake up and be like, hey man, if everything's pointing back to this, and all the stuff is being to talk about to undermine this, y'all are intelligent, y'all are smart enough to know what this is. aren't you a bit curious
A why?
to be like, man,
Yeah.
why are they? You don't need to tear down the fake.
Right.
I mean, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we don't need to worry about you fill in the blank. But this one over here, oh yeah, we gotta throw some worry. Or you could say some doubt.
I like that one.
Some trickery.
I like that.
Oh yeah. But yeah, man.
Curiosity.
Be curious, man. Get your questions answered.
Yeah, it's there.
You call
It's
me.
right there.
You can call me. I'll answer them. And if I don't know the answer,
We'll get the answer.
yeah, I'll talk to the person that knows the answer.
Mm-hmm.
I have the source, man,
The source.
behind it all.
That's
Like,
what I,
I mean,
love
even-
about it,
even
man.
if you
That's what I love about it.
Mediocre to magnificent. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's the magnificence, man.
Yeah.
Knowing where you're at.
Yeah, I had a question, though. With the curiosity
Yeah,
side,
question.
I got a question. Because it popped up in my head, and I was sitting there like, I was like, well, I'll answer the question, but really, I know the answer to it. But with the Adam and Eve,
We're going back.
like with Adam and Eve,
Yeah.
was that curiosity?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. But I know people would think that. They'd be like, well,
I don't think it was.
but it was like, no, that was temptation.
It was already discussed.
Yeah. Like
And
you
then-
knew
Yeah.
XYZ.
You'll die. And then someone said, you won't surely die.
Yeah.
There's no there's no curiosity. It was
like-
stated. It was
Yeah.
this is gonna happen.
This would happen. And then it's like, wait a minute, no. And it was like,
You won't surely die. You like how I said that? You won't
Yeah.
surely die. So that's
but
that's the thing.
but it's so amazing how even through that, it's still there.
Oh yeah. So you're basically saying you have to know between
Yeah.
curiosity
What curiosity
and
is
temptation.
and what temptation is.
Yeah,
That's
that's
two different things.
yeah. It's already been clearly
And a lot of
defined.
times, in order you have the curiosity, the temptation comes with you don't know. Like what you're talking about.
Yeah, in this scene
When you don't know. Or you question.
yeah.
Which is okay to question as long as you want to go back and really look into it.
Yeah.
Because the enemy's gonna like.
I mean,
you think-
I've heard it like this. The way you probably know it because the researcher in you. But sometimes people say they read. I mean, any book. But we're talking
Yeah.
about the book. But say you read it through a lens where you shoot your arrow and then draw the bullseye around it.
I like that.
To be like,
Yeah.
oh, so you're curious, but you already have a preconceived notion of what you think and what you believe and what you want to believe. So then you read the book, the story, take the circumstance from that lens, like, oh yeah, see?
Exactly.
It's like, are you kidding me?
Context is key. In my opinion. Like,
Yeah, if you're saying we don't even know who they're talking to.
Right.
You don't even know the time period. You don't even know who's speaking.
Right. Right. Like you could just take that one bird, whatever. But if you don't know what the context of it is,
And you're not even curious enough.
like that's
look it
curious.
up.
When you see that and it's like, well, where did that come from? Where did this? Why did they say this? Like that's the curiosity. That's the deeper level.
Yep.
But that's what we gotta have. Like you gotta have that. I mean, that's the foundation part, and then curiosity outside of that, what you do with your day-to-day life, what you want to pursue, what God wants you to pursue. It falls in line. Like it's not. It's no longer like you think you're gonna fail. It's gonna get the feedback.
gotta get the feedback. We're all gonna get the feedback.
Mm-hmm.
We are all gonna get the feedback. Look, why are you laughing?
No, because I mean you're right. We're gonna get the feedback.
Yeah.
But don't worry.
Do you want the feedback? It's like, man, I gave you so many opportunities to be curious and look into this, and you.
Yeah.
Man, what was it gonna take for me to? Even Braxton and Lee are talking about this on the podcast.
Yeah.
To help you.
But what's so beautiful about it is he never stops trying.
Wait. Braxton and Lee are talking about it? And you just happen to come across it?
Yeah.
And you're not going to be like, man, let me figure out what these guys are talking about. If you don't know. I mean, some people know.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God. Some people don't. You need to figure it out. I won't never forget when we were, and I was actually, attending the church, pastors up there speaking. It's like, man, he's telling all the stories. And then I'm like, through my journey, I start reading books, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm thinking no disrespect to the pastor. I'm thinking this pastor has amazing stories. It's in the books.
Exactly.
But you don't read the books. You don't have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying that for is if certain things, and we're talking very like low level. I'm not even like, we're not deep.
Right.
You could even say like, I could probably be attacked, bad feedback, be like, oh, Lee, you're pretty vague. You don't say specific. You don't name the scripture and verse. You know.
Yeah.
Chapter and verse. You don't. But it is line between line, precept upon precept. But the thought process is, if we say certain things and it just goes right over your head and you don't have no clue, you better get curious. Because there's certain things we say like, oh, if you read the book, you'd be like, oh, I know exactly what Braxton's alluding to. I know exactly what Lee's alluding to. You better get curious enough to show yourself approved. And the only way that's going to come is reading the word. So you don't fail the open book test.
From book test.
I like saying that.
We got to make a media thing on that. Don't fail the open book test.
Open book test?
Open book test.
You could copy off your neighbor?
Like open book.
Your neighbor knows the answer. You're not even asking. But that's that same dumbing down that you said, like, oh, it changed from curiosity to worry. Mm-hmm. It's like, don't. You can't phone a friend.
Yeah. On
test day. Well, and this, you better phone one.
Mm-hmm.
And it happens to be, you better phone Jesus. Ain't it right?
I love that, man.
You better phone him. Hey, man, I need you.
You're right.
Why are you laughing? I mean, because people make it like it's
I love how you bring it up.
It's simple, man.
It's very simple.
Why are we playing these games?
And that's it. Like the level we could talk about 4 years. The level of my faith 4 years ago from now.
Oh man, people can listen to the podcast and be like, man, they were heathens when they started about. No, I'm just joking.
But no, it's completely changed.
Yeah, man.
Because of curiosity.
Yeah, man.
The willingness to put yourself continually in the Word.
Man, I heard this. He's your Savior. But is he your Lord?
Mm.
So now I'm speaking to a different group. But yeah, he saved you. But is he your Lord? That's a different level. Well, I'm saved. I accepted Christ. Okay.
Yeah.
There's another level.
I feel like there's always going to be other levels.
Always.
There's always going to be deeper levels.
Always. Till we check out of here.
Curiosity kills the cat. I don't think so.
Not for me.
Worry might.
Worry might. But I'm smarter than that. And I hope you are too.
Yep.
Till next time.
This is your co-host here, Braxton Matson, and Lee and I just want to say thank you so much for tuning into this episode. We hope you've enjoyed it just as much as we did making it, but we couldn't do it without you. So please hit that like button, leave us a rating, leave us a review. Let us know what topic or subject that you would like us to talk about in your journey from mediocre to magnificent. But most of all, share it. Be the ripple effect of magnificence and know that you are magnificent in everything you do. Till next time.